Bitcoin at 91,000. Man from the year 4000 says fiat was so 2 millennia ago. G20 says not to worry about cryptocurrency, and Twitter says no, you definitely should worry about it. Welcome to Rumors, FUD, and Crypto Conspiracies. All right, everybody, welcome back to Crypto Conspiratorial Conspiracies. We are the podcast that is listened to in 160 countries. Guys, we've been
not taken seriously, though.
I cannot believe we have made...
We're pretty serious. I don't know.
That's as internet fame as internet fame gets. Joe, welcome back. It's been a long time since you've been here.
It's been a bit, man.
Prison was good?
It's been a while. No. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about those things.
So the market is down. The blues are singing loudly. So we actually dropped to $285 billion market cap this weekend. I don't even remember when the last time it was that low. Probably around September, Wilson. It can't be any time, I don't know, before that. So we've got some news today. James, I would love for you to start us off because you've got some good pieces that we're going to discuss.
Everybody is sort of waiting for news to come out of the G20 Summit stuff, right? And it's just... I mean, technically it's about to start, but even now, at its beginning, there's some interesting things leaking out, news coming out, and that's, for example, the Financial Stability Board. By the way, I'm getting this I'm getting this from a French website, but it's being Google translated, so, take it for what it's worth. The Financial Stability Board, FSB, announced that at G20 that they have no plans to regulate cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, that they don't see it as something that's demanding that. Essentially, they're not going to regulate it, but they are stressing that it needs to continue to be monitored because it's a rapidly evolving technology, and it would be dumb not to monitor it.
Right. And so G20 is gathering of all the world leaders, right?
It's
That's
like
kind of what it part of what
global
it stands
economy
for.
meetings.
And so the global economy really consists of Russia, the United States, and China, and then all of the EU together, right? So all of the EU saying, all right, we're on board with it is a good sign. But do you think, and your thoughts, do you think that positivity will outweigh the kind of the negativity that the U.S. has embraced, the hesitancy of China and Russia?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things going around. I think on the one hand, I think some people... more than me, are taking the G20 meetings very seriously.
Right.
And just seeing... and they're worried that the news coming out of G20 will be like, new regulations destroy the entire market.
Death nail.
And what I like about this sort of news is it's for that particular kind of investor or Bitcoin person, this is relieving some of that stress, which is good for the market.
Yeah, it's a good general indicator.
Right.
But the market never responds well to good news, though. Right? People are going to be like, yeah, okay, somebody on Reddit said a bad thing.
Like, if France comes out and says this, that's great. But then if Germany and the rest of the EU is like, nah.
JK.
Yeah.
So we will need to keep an eye out for G20. If you are watching this the day of its release, then you will know that G20 is actually in the process of its current happening. We are excited to see the news that comes out of that, and hopefully the U.S. doesn't look so foolish on the world stage as it seems to do, as want to do quite often. All right.
By the way, the FSB is not the French, like I was saying. It's the Bank of England. They're the UK.
I got it. Well, Joe, what do you got for us?
All right, are we going time traveler?
No, you can do the time traveler. Yeah, that's good.
You time travel back to Josh not bashing an entire country?
Mr. John, L time traveler.
Spanish for the time travel.
I thought you said LL time travel. I'm like, oh, like LL Cool J.
Ladies love time traveler.
So essentially, he's saying that crypto is the only form of the future. And by the year 3200, there will be no dollars left.
Yeah,
so mark your calendars.
Because
can you guys make it that far?
Because the Bitcoin rich.
Well, he said he's over 100.
Use them to start too many cigars for themselves.
Well, if he's over 100 and he had 25 million HM coins, that obviously got him to travel back here to inform us.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty legit.
His
I don't know.
I could put this on my Google Calendar right now.
Yes, exactly. That's what I said. Bookmark it, man.
he's been here for 6 years. He said he actually transferred back to 2012, and apparently time travel in his life is as common as Wi-Fi, except it's illegal. And so it's weird that
So they're
something.
going to send a time cop after him?
And so
So it's it's as common as Wi-Fi, but it's also illegal.
yeah.
Kind of weird.
He
Kind
said
of like drugs in our time.
Don't know what you're talking about. He goes, if you get
Crypto?
caught time traveling, you would be very sorry for that. If you're a scientist who sells time traveling, you can be punished by death. But here's
So in reaction to that, he's going on the news.
well,
talking
remember,
about
we don't
how
have
he's
the
a time
technology to
traveler.
send him, to his police.
They can't just look at old news and find him talking trash.
No, that's not how time traveling
Branching
works.
timelines. Branching
Wait.
timelines.
Okay. never
Time
mind.
is not this linear thing, right? Time is a lot. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
lot more circular.
But he
than it
can't
is
go back
linear.
in time to warn himself that he's gonna get in trouble.
Okay, listen to this that makes him sound like the Nigerian prince email, okay? John remarked, I have traveled very much around the whole universe. I was in all places and planets where living was not dangerous. I have a great amount of money and I can afford myself to everything I want. Please send me your bank account number so I can send you some money. There's just something about this that strikes me as not true, but it is a conspiracy, so we have to talk about it because
That
it's in
sounds
our
like
purview.
Big Lee time travel. Huh?
Yeah, so we have
Only bosses. Only bosses.
out of Twitter, there has come a desire or response to get ready to ban crypto-related ads in response to the growing regulation concerns.
Following Google.
Yeah, so Facebook has banned crypto advertising in January, and Google's recent update to its financial services policy that will ban crypto ads starting in June of 2018. Twitter is going to follow suit, talking about there's going to be a new advertising policy that will be implemented in 2 weeks, so 2 weeks from the day of this recording, and currently stands to prohibit advertisements for ICOs, token sales, and cryptocurrency wallets globally. Now, I get why you would ban ICOs and token sales. I mean, I get why they would ban that, right? Privacy, blah, blah, blah. I think it's dumb, but I understand it. But I don't understand why you would do cryptocurrency wallets there. That one's a little bit hard for me to follow is what the reason for that would be, why there would be any value in taking that off the table entirely.
Yeah, I don't know. So let's do some clarifying here. You use Twitter a little bit more than I do. So like when Facebook bans cryptocurrency ads, like you can see that there's dedicated ads apart from what Facebook usually provides as a service, which is like everybody putting up photos of kittens and junk
Right.
like that.
Like the sponsored.
Right,
You
but-
can see that it's sponsored.
Right, but with Twitter, like it really just is tweets, right? Like there's no other way to
they have
advertise
spon-
to.
No, they have
It says
sponsored,
sponsored,
ads that
yeah.
insert it into your feed, essentially.
But it's still your feed.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's not your feed.
But
because
so,
you
like, with
didn't
Facebook, it's
you
not
didn't
your
subscribe
feed.
to it because you only show what you're subscribed to. The
Right.
sponsored ads are non-subscribed. Like you're not subscribed to that, but they force it on you and as while you're scrolling through.
They'll send it
okay.
into your feed as a suggestion, the same way that Facebook does, essentially.
Okay, so it is an other.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're saying that one of the reasons they're doing this is because Twitter has experienced an influx of fake accounts pretending to advertise cryptocurrency giveaways, often by users posing as famous cryptosphere personas like Litecoin's Charlie Lee. And this is the weird thing about Twitter's blue check mark to me, because Twitter has that check mark for a reason before it was used to take away stuff from people, like a sense of legitimacy or whatever. But the whole point of that was to show its verified status. And so I don't want to say that if you're falling for this, you deserve to get taken advantage of, because that's not, I don't ever think we should go that far. But it's
However,
but come on, man! Anything that asks
Come
you,
on.
anything that asks you to give them your private password, it's the same. Okay, hey, give me your social security number. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no one would ever do that. That's not. So it's just
Are
hard.
you sure?
Well, yeah. I mean, apparently ETH0, right, was gonna.
Do you know that there's I remember listening to a podcast and where the guest on this podcast was a guy whose job for Visa was to just go through Twitter finding people putting their new credit cards as a pic onto their Twitter account, and he responding to them you're getting all your information stolen right now, you need to delete this.
I just can't. I know I'm the one wearing the hat, so it makes me look a little less credible. But it's so
don't
hard
know.
for me to understand why we do this. Okay, so that's Twitter. They suck. I mean,
But do they suck as much as PayPal?
No.
So let's transition.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
So PayPal has just filed a patent for a faster cryptocurrency payment system. So it looks like it was not too long ago, like a week or two ago, that PayPal was like, cryptocurrency, who cares about that?
Yeah,
It's
what
not the
is that?
future. And now they've put down a patent where they're essentially going to try to outdo all of the current, what you might call rivals in cryptocurrency, and basically outdo them by using their already established network to upgrade it to
Crypto.
to utilize crypto or to
Chain.
integrate crypto.
Right.
So this is big news because, again, like the more normalized crypto gets, the more it's going to bring in normies, I guess.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. You're totally right. And this is actually the good time for
Take
this
offense to that term.
when the market's so low. Joe's the only one who actually made a legitimate hat out of tinfoil, so that's pretty impressive. But as the market stays so low, right, this is going to be something that invites new money in. And as the new money comes in, as it's being adopted on a wider basis, hopefully the PayPal integration happens soon, because then that means more money could be sent. So what do you got, Joe? You got another one for us?
Robinhood.
Okay.
All right.
So Robinhood got a fatty investor again. It's just easier to say it that way, man.
I
don't
got
know.
it. I'm with you.
very simple. I got you, peeps, man. So
Peeps, man.
peeps, man.
It's like an
So
Easter
they got
It's like a creepy Kingsman.
the peepsman.
the Peepsmith brother.
I got you, peepsman. Don't you worry about it. They got $350 million from a Russian investor or from a Russian investment firm, and so their new expected evaluation is supposed to be $5.6 billion.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's so nuts. Good for Robinhood, though.
Coming up from 1.3
Take that, Cobbin
last
Hood.
year. So
No,
it's a lot of
my cob
it's a lot of
coins.
interesting
Yeah,
things
no
going
kidding.
on in this crazy market still.
So Robinhood becomes more legitimate, which means that it's going to be an absolute threat to kind of some of the other smaller names that are trying to make their way in the crypto space. So what else? I mean, if Charles Schwab makes a movement into the crypto space, like if more of those traditional companies that are investment firms make their way over into the crypto sphere, that could be a huge up for people like us who've been holding for a long time. So is anybody actually on the Robinhood app?
Not Robinhood.
Yeah.
Some of the
It's pretty legit.
Some of the other members of this club
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
just not here today.
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty easy to use. The functionality is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be something to definitely watch for. That's good. You got a Liechtenstein in there?
Not right now.
Okay, no, that's fine. So Tom Lee predicts Bitcoin to reach $91,000 by March of 2020 based on
He held up a
performances.
graph that was made with crayon.
So Tom Lee is from Fundstrat, and he's forecasted the Bitcoin price will be this high, basing his prediction on a chart specifically that shows Bitcoin performances after past market dips. So this is pretty intriguing because he's got a Bitcoin since 2010 figure, and so after the first great crash in 2011, when Bitcoin dropped some 93% in 163 days, it rebounded massively, going from about $1 all the way up to around 100. And then again, it jumped up and had another 70% retracement. And so we see...
You know what's nice about that number? Is it's really high, but it's not high enough and fast enough to save McAfee from his obligation.
Well, that's okay. I'm pretty excited to watch that pay-per-view.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. I'm gonna...
But
I'm making
seriously, though,
popcorn.
like there seems to be one big difference between, like, he's looking at history, and history is a good indicator for the future. But there's a huge difference between now and the history of Bitcoin, which is all of the new whales.
Yeah, the new regs.
Like all that previous history was like Bitcoin was mostly its own game, and now it's the game of Wall Street and Goldman Sachs
Yeah.
and all those large companies that just at the end of 2017 started coming in publicly and actually paying attention. That changes everything for me. Like it shows. I think as the market becomes quote unquote more legitimate, there'll be some definite like opportunities like on the horizon. But I don't know if it can be the way it was. The Wild West is going away.
I think it takes a lot of well, I mean, it's never really been stable, I guess, but the stability of having the market crash as frequently as it's been doing so often, and just having the bulls just do what they want to do with it. And I think it's the more it's coming to be normalized, the more it's going to be controlled, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I think it needs to
that's
change.
the thing. Instability was opportunity for
For anybody who could get in with a decent enough money.
Right.
Yeah. To make a fortune. So all the easy money is gone.
Stability it basically means that there's far less opportunity to like bet on something weird and make it big.
Yeah. And so I think you're totally right. We can no longer say that history can be used as almost a repeat understanding of how it's going to be. You could do that probably in 2014, 15, and 16, right? But from 17 on, you can only say history at best will be a guide to what could potentially see.
It seems like we're going to have to rewrite all of our assumptions on how the market works, starting with January.
Yeah, it almost feels like we're starting over in this. So
Don't we every year though?
yeah, well, I don't know. We've only been in this for a year, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this goes. So, do we have any last bits? Are we pretty good?
Good on time.
Feeling good? All right. So if you have any thoughts, be sure to let us know in the comments below. We would love to connect with you. Feel free to join our Telegram where we have hopping conversations going on in there quite frequently. People post things or thing. And find us on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/GSWCrypto and Instagram.com/GSWCrypto. Yeah, thanks so much.